When it comes to drawing an ear of corn, there's an easy way to make all those kernels line up in neat little rows. It just takes a little bit of planning. My name's Kathy, and I've been teaching kids how to draw for more than 20 years. If you follow along with me, I'll show you how easy it is to do. I'll be using these simple art supplies and this tutorial from my website, Art Projects for Kids. There's a link included in the description of this project. Step number 1. I like to work with a center guideline on my paper, which you can get by folding or drawing the lines. I've made mine in pencil so you can see them. Start by drawing the right side of the corn and then a matching left side. Notice that I'm using that middle line to help make things centered. Step number 2. The husk shapes on top are like long, skinny leaves. Start with the center leaf and make it go almost to the top of the paper. Then add another one on the left and one on the right. A little bit of wiggle in the lines will make them look a little bit more dried out. Step number 3. Now add a couple more leaves on either side until it looks full. There's no rule, just keep going until your husk looks full and layered. Step number 4. Okay, it's time to make a plan for those rows of corn. First we need some vertical lines. Start with one going down the middle, and then add one centered on the right side, and one centered on the left side. Step number 5. Now some horizontal lines are added. I recommend starting at the top and then working your way down. Try to space the lines so that they generally make small square shapes. Keep going until you get to the very bottom. Step number 6. Okay, it's time to draw the kernels of corn. You can see by my example on the left that they are really just little squares with rounded corners. It takes some time to patiently add one inside each box, but that's what makes the neat and orderly look of this drawing. Do try to make each kernel as big as you can so there's not too much of a gap in between them. As you get to the smaller boxes near the bottom, the little kernel shapes will get smaller too. Step number 7. It's time to trace all those kernels with a marker so we can see them better. Slowly go over each one and ignore those grid lines. They are only there to help plan, and we're going to erase them in a minute. It does pay to be patient here too and continue to make neat little rounded squares until every one has been traced. When the kernel tracing is done, take a moment to trace the husk shapes too. Now there are probably lots of pencil lines all over, so use an eraser to get rid of them so you can see your drawing a little bit better. Step number 8. This part is fun. It's using your black marker to fill in the spaces between those kernels. It will not only show off your neat little rows of corn, the black will really make those colors pop. Step number 9. All right, it's time to get out the crayons and fill in those kernels of corn with some random warm colors. I'm starting with a bright yellow and filling in about 6 squares or so. Then I'm going to continue with the golden yellow color to add a little more variety. Now an orange will add some color too. Look to fill in about half a dozen kernels or so, just in a random kind of way. And then finish your ear of corn off with lots of red. This time we're not trying to make a pattern, just to make the ear have lots of random colors, like it does in real life. Now the husk is colored in with whatever kind of light brown and golden colors you can find. If possible, try to find a couple different shades so that you can make your husk look a little more realistic. And last but not least is the background. I'm using a light cool color so I have the most amount of contrast from my warm corn colors. This bright yellow-green is working for me, but of course feel free to pick one that you think works best with your drawing. Okay, that corn drawing looks pretty cool when it's done, don't you think? My name's Kathy, and my website, Art Projects for Kids, has helped millions of kids learn how to draw, where you can find over 700 step-by-step drawing lessons. They include how to draw leaves and how to draw a pumpkin. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you keep on drawing.